Alrighty, guys, we're back for Unexpected Self-Destruction, and this is a Final Fantasy Standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some Ranked. But first things first, this was a suggestion over in the Discord, and we built it together on the Twitch channel, and it's rotation-proof for the upcoming rotation, which is right around the corner, huh? So we have 4 Blacksmith talent, 1 red mana enchantment class. When it enters, you create a sword, and equipped creature gets +1/+1, and the equip cost is 2 on the sword. Level 2, for 2 and a red at the beginning of combat on your turn, attach target equipment you control to up to 1 target creature you control. And level 3, for 3 and a red, during your turn, equipped creatures you control have double strike and haste. Okay. I'd say it's really in here for that level 2, and that's not the only way to get some free equips to our creatures in here. We actually have Raubahn as a 4 of, even though it's a legendary. 2 mana, 2/2. It has ward, pay life equal to Raubahn's power. Okay. Whenever Raubahn attacks, attach up to 1 target equipment you control to target attacking creature. Yeah, not half bad, huh? Especially if you're getting free equips on powerful equipment like Buster Sword, making the cut as a 3 of in here. So it's a 3 mana equipment. Equipped creature gets +3/+2. Whenever a equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Then, you may cast a spell from your hand with mana value less than or equal to that damage without paying its mana cost. Okay. Equip cost isn't even that steep. It's just 2, which isn't terrible, right? Now we have Lotus Ring in here. What's this doing in here? This is a 3 mana artifact equipment. It has indestructible. The equip cost is 3, so that is actually pretty steep, right? Just 1 more than 2, but you'd be surprised how much more that 1 more actually is, you know? So equipped creatures gets +3/+3 and has vigilance, and you can tap it, sacrifice this creature, add 3 mana in any 1 color. So why is this in here actually? Well, we have Unexpected Request as the main build around. Honestly, I should have went over this first, but here we are. It's a 3 mana sorcery. Gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature, it gains haste until end of turn. You may attach an equipment you control to that creature. If you do, unattach it at the beginning of the next end step. So we could do something like get a free equip to a Buster Sword on the opponent's stolen creature. If that creature gets through with the Buster Sword, we could potentially have a free Self-Destruct from our hand, which is a 2 mana instant speed. Target creature you control deals X damage to any other target and X damage to itself, where X is its power. Heck yeah, dude. And of course, with Self-Destruct in here, we had to squeeze in a couple Screaming Nemesis as well. Now, yes, this is a lot of 3 mana cards, man. So we got a couple Screaming Nemesis. It's a pretty powerful creature. We even have a Sword of Vengeance. This is a 3 mana equipment. The equip cost is 3. Equipped creature gets +2/+0. Has first strike, vigilance, trample, and haste. That's actually a lot of fun little things on there. Now at the top end, we have a couple Boommobiles. It has that exhaust ability for X2 and a red. It deals X damage to any target, and you put a +1/+1 counter on this vehicle. The crew cost is 2, which isn't half bad when it's a 5/5 vehicle, but also when it enters, you add 4 mana of any 1 color, spend this mana only to activate abilities, which of course can come in handy in an equipment deck list. Also here on the top end, we have a Judgment Bolt. 5 damage to target creature is a chunk of damage. X damage to that creature's controller, where X is the number of equipment you control, which could be pretty decent, especially if you get a free Judgment Bolt off of a Buster Sword ability. Do you have some more removal packed in, more early removal with all 4 chainsaws ought to do the thing nicely. We even have a couple Torch the Tower in here for early removal. We have a 1 of Freya Crescent to work well with the equipment, also helping us ramp into like a turn 2 Buster Sword could be pretty good, especially if you're going right into an Unexpected Request on turn 3. And a couple Fire Magic as well, just to help us. That's it. Just more removal, right? So over in the mana base, couple Fountainports, and we even have a Lindblum, Industrial Regency, for more utility land packed in. Some honorable mentions, guys. Gastel Thrill Roller almost made the cut. A Take for a Ride and Vengeful Possession for more ways to take your opponent's creatures could have been neat too, but I think the 4 Unexpected Request will be more than enough. Okay, guys, I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so I look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead and take this into some Ranked, see how we do. Okay, we'll see if we can get right into that first game. In the meantime, what am I expecting from the build? Okay, okay, so it should be janky. It should be. I don't know, man. You'd be surprised by our one test game that we had on Twitch. It was really cool. So it's gonna be janky. It should be, but I'm expecting some really cool games too. So we'll see. We'll see what we can pull off here. So the opponent goes first. They got the Yuna sleeves over there, which should be a little concerning, but unexpected request taking something chunky could be cool. When I was going over the deck list, I went from Lotus Ring to Unexpected Request, and I kind of forgot to explain why they work together. I guess it's a little obvious, right? But you equip the Lotus Ring with the free equip on the request, and then you can tap it, sacrifice the creature to add the 3 mana. So it's another way to pop the opponent's creature outside of a Self-Destruct. Oh, man. Duress is rough business. Anything is fine here, opponent. Probably the Lotus Ring, though. Against, yeah, it's going to be the Lotus Ring. That makes sense for sure. Okay. Chainsaw is not worth getting down. With founding the third path, I mean, Yuna sleeves... Probably Dimir Reanimator, right? But what kind is the question? All right. We have Patience, I suppose. It's a really awkward turn, isn't it? Oh, they mill us. Oh. Oh, okay. So Dimir mill then. Okay. Okay. I guess I had no reason to be confused. That's probably a problem, because they might not give us a lot of creatures to steal with the request. I have a couple turns to maybe power up the Blacksmith's talent. They're going to recast the Duress. And this time they can take the Unexpected Request, I guess, but Self-Destruct might be a bigger threat to them. They do take an Unexpected Request, which might mean they do have some creatures that are worth stealing in there. Sword of Vengeance. Speaking of creatures... You guys can see why we have a couple Fountainports in here and everything too. And the Lindblum for that matter. They all got milled though. Yeah, generating tokens is really important sometimes when a lot of the deck list is just equipment. Yeah, what the heck, man. Let's just take the turn to get Blacksmith's talent all the way up. That could be really good. Buster Sword. Okay. I'm guessing a lot of their hand is removal then. Yeah, get the Buster Sword down. It lands. Submit 0. It's too bad they milled the Lindblum and everything, guys. Actually having a creature out there. Okay, Screaming Nemesis is pretty good. It probably doesn't survive though, right? A couple turns of the opponent doing nothing means they need creatures on the board for some targets. So, I mean, I guess we try. It lands. Equip Buster Sword. It's a 6/5 double strike Screaming Nemesis. Holy cow, guys. What is happening? Huh? I guess like Chainsaw hit the Nemesis? I don't know, man. GG opponent? What just happened, bro? I guess it was just time for a victory real quick, right? The opponent missed, and missed a lot. Dimir colors, guys. I'm completely taken aback by that. Anyways, first of all, we were allowed with some setup, which is crazy. So after So we got a free hit with the Buster Sword with the double strike from the Blacksmith talent, of course, right? So Chainsaw is going to hit Nemesis. I guess it's a little risky depending on what deck list you think you're up against. Like if they had red over there, I probably wouldn't have done that. It depends though. Anyways, the second hit from the double strike was going to go through. We would have had another free play from the Buster Sword, self-destruct the Nemesis, right? So crazy business. I would have never expected Nemesis to survive. Yeah. Yeah, we got super lucky. All right, let's keep the ball rolling. But what's nice about that, even though we got really lucky, we still got to showcase all the cool sides of the deck list, right? We got to showcase some of the synergies. Very nice. Very nice hand. I'm thinking about going up a second Freya and dropping the Sword of Vengeance, which we just drew, funny enough. A second Freya could be pretty good. Like I said, turn 2 Buster Sword, turn 3 Unexpected Request. I mean, that could just be... That's a curve and a half, dude. Buster Sword established. No counterspell from the opponent. See if they give us something good to steal. Something good to steal. Come on, opponent. A nice 3-drop Preacher of the Schism or something. Stock up. Well, yeah, it ruins our curve, but we can equip Buster Sword, still have some free plays, like a Boommobile, for example. Wow. We could also just establish Sword of Vengeance for the turn. Now, we should get some free stuff on the board while we can, right? Start with some card draw too. Maybe we should go free Sword of Vengeance, actually. Free Boommobile makes a little bit more sense. We could go for the Exhaust right away. No, okay, I'll go for the free Sword of Vengeance. Okay. Yeah, having that on the board makes a lot of sense to me. We get to keep Fire Magic open, I guess, if they have something that spams tokens onto the board. So far, 4 colors from the opponent. They're going to pass it on back, guys. Blacksmith talent. And not giving us anything to steal. We could just equip. Try for a nice big hit. Probably worthwhile, right? It's probably worth the attempt. They do have a Lightning Helix for the Freya. I suppose we can tap before it dies, right? They go back up to 19 here. Do we plan on using Lindblum, or do we just want extra mana on the board? I guess extra mana now that Freya's gone. Okay. Okay, it depends. Because Lindblum could also have been the only creature. But until the opponent does something else, I don't know if we want to expect any creature to survive now that they have enough mana, right? Hopefully they get some top end down so we can get a really good unexpected request. So 5th mana isn't terrible. I'm just going to go Blacksmith talent, see if it lands. And we'll get it to level 2 as well. And we still have Fire Magic open in case they spam some tokens or something, I guess. Destroy Evil for the talent. Okay. So some pretty good, I want to call them tempo plays from the opponent for the last couple turns, where we spend 3 mana and then the opponent just ruins whatever we spent the mana on. I would consider both of those plays tempo plays, right? And both of them could have potentially been avoided. It's fine. It's totally fine that it wasn't avoided. Oh. Okay. There's a problem with the Mhigo because the Mhigo doesn't die to the self-destruct, guys. Unless we do fire magic on the same turn, which I guess could work. Stock up, getting them 2 more cards in their hand, too. So this is 4-color dragons, or 4-color control. When they're playing stock up, that usually means they have other dragons in there, too. But it could, I mean, stock up is also just a good card. So it really depends, huh? All right. Well, unexpected request. If Blacksmith's talent was allowed to stick around, our free equip from the Sword of Vengeance could have been crazy business. Oh, that's right. Buster Sword does equal out the Mhigo. Okay, that's great news, man. That's really good news. So we actually have 2 mana open for the Self-Destruct, and the opponent's tapped out as well. So it's a 7/7. So we can still get a free thing from the Buster Sword. Or we could make it an 8/8, swing for 8, Self-Destruct for free. They gained the 3 from the Lightning Helix. That's what keeps them in this. I'd rather free Boommobile, maybe. And just cast the Self-Destruct. How do you guys feel about that? More mana? Okay, free Boommobile. 4 red mana, totally fine. Either way, we want to make sure the Mhigo dies, especially while they're tapped out. And then, you know, we might as well use the exhaust ability for an extra 1 damage going through, right? Oh! I had a mountain, guys. We could have gotten 2 damage through. Okay, well, we get to keep fire magic open, I guess. Yeah, we could have got him down to 3, actually. It's crazy having 6 mana on the board for this, but I guess... What do we have? We have 23 total. Yeah, anyone's game for sure. Kind of... Oh, Nemesis. Hi. If Nemesis lands at instant speed, we do have fire magic. We also, at instant speed, have power up Boommobile, so they need to counter this for sure. For sure need to counter this. Okay, 3 steps ahead. A full-powered one, too. No, not full-powered, just bottom ability. Yeah, kind of regretting playing the Lindblum, but also the extra mana did come in handy. So I guess it's fine to have on the board, but it's a little sketchy when we just don't have a lot of creatures packed in and we're relying heavily on the opponent's creatures instead. More mana is probably bad news, because at some point they're going to be able to play a big creature and keep a counterspell open, and then they can counter the unexpected request whenever we try to take the creature. Also, we have to anticipate more life gain from the opponent, too. Yeah, usually it's Jeskai control when we see Mhigo, but the opponent has 4, so it's a little bit of a different version of the Jeskai control decklist that we see. Malicious Eclipse is in there. That's one of the reasons that they're playing. But I wonder what some of the other reasons are. I'd like to see more of the opponent's decklist, honestly. Now, Boommobile's bottom exhaust ability, we didn't have to use that. We could have waited. Yeah, but then there's like, I don't know, that's tough. That's a tough call with the Boommobile. Ooh, Fountainport. Oh, thank goodness, bro. Okay, Fishy, equip Sword of Vengeance, see what happens. We do it right now too, right? Because I mean, that's what we're trying to do with the deck list, so Still have 3 mana open as well. So Sword of Vengeance gives it, or we could try... There's too many options, guys. We could keep Fire Magic open. Equip Sword, just power up Boommobile instead. I'm going to go for the Sword of Vengeance, though, for the haste and see what they do here. I'm pretty sure Fishy's dead anyways. Probably just... Oh, it's a nowhere to run. Oh. So another reason to splash black in Jeskai. Thank goodness for Fountainport, though. That really opens up a possibility for us. So they do find a stock up off the Quarry Mountain Monastery, which is terrible news, guys. Stock up helps them find even more to help their control. And they go for it, too. I would say they have 5 mana. Oh, we're really hoping they tap out with a creature, but if it's like the other Jeskai control deck list, they have that one dragon that they just bounce back to their hand, which completely evades the unexpected request anyways. So we'd prefer like another Mhigo. For sure. Yeah, they got 7 cards in hand, but they're kind of in danger. They got to be careful. Every single turn really matters here. They go... Okay, they go ahead and get rid of our Boommobile. Exile target artifact, enchantment, or creature with power 4 or greater. Nice. With 4 mana open, again, we just can't expect Fishy to survive. But that doesn't mean we don't try it. And we pretty much try it every single turn until it does survive. Sword of Vengeance is how we give it haste. Yeah, 6 cards open. First strike, vigilance, trample, haste. It's a 3/1 Fishy. Holy cow, guys. Opponent's down to 1. That potentially means it came down to me not playing mana before the Boommobile earlier. I missed 1 damage because of that. I say potentially because also we don't know if the opponent just decided to let that through to save whatever's in hand for something else later. Right? Since we were tapped out, they didn't have to worry about certain things. So Mhigo, and I hope... Okay, so Lightning Helix will bring him back up to 4. Yeah, since we don't know what's in their hand, we don't really know if it came down to me missing that 1 damage. We really just don't. Because they could have saved it and said, like, oh, I'll play Mhigo next turn, get the life gain back from the Helix anyways, and keep this Helix in my hand open for a better thing or something, right? So, oh, Ketramos as well. Wow, now they have 2 mana open here, guys. It could easily be a negate, but that does not mean we don't try this. I think we definitely try this. Also, Ketramos can't block. So Raubahn can come down. If we pay 3, give it haste, we could swing, equip the Buster Sword. But then Raubahn just dies to another Lightning Helix. It's much better to just say they don't have the counterspell and go for the unexpected request, right? Holy cow. Holy cow, guys. Oh my goodness. Does Mhigo get us there? Lightning Helix does not save him. Gets him back up to 7. Destroy evil! No! Okay. I think... So Ketramos still is a little far away. These matches are rough, huh? Control games. We get to showcase a lot of the deck list, though, in these. Alright. Raubahn can come down. Chainsaw, I'm going to save. We're just going to equip the Buster Sword to Raubahn. Oh. Oh, Magic the Gathering. How could you do this to me? Okay, so how unexpected request is worded. If you do unattach it at the beginning of the next end step. So even if it's not attached to the Mhigo, if it's attached to a different creature, it still ends up dying. Okay, the opponent's down to 2 cards, guys. For real, we could get there this turn. I mean, they're gonna miss eventually, right? So Fishy, Sword of Vengeance, swing past the Ketramos if we can equip the sword too. Fishy's so expensive though. Judgment Bolt doesn't pop Ketramos, but it does do 3 damage to their face. Yeah, unfortunately, all the extra life gain from the extra Lightning Helix, they've gained 6 so far from it, and that's just been absolutely essential for their survival. Okay, so bad news. It's still open here. It's sticking on something. The Day of Judgment was a 1-for-1. We don't mind that at all, right? Yeah, Ketramo still being 4 cards away is really good news for us. All right, guys, the opponent still has 2 more timeouts, so we're going to go ahead and pause until they show up. Okay, we're at the end of the last timeout, guys. So it looks like Fishy's going to hit, and we're gonna try Sword of Vengeance. We'll see if the opponent shows up. We get the 3 through. They're back down to 1. It passes back. Maybe we can get there with the Judgment Bolt, right? Maybe. Either way, I kind of feel like the opponent froze. No matter what, we got to give the opponents the benefit of the doubt because there is still a lot of freezing or game crashes, right? So for all we know, they could be sitting over there waiting for us, right? Either way, yeah, let's go ahead. Pause the recording, see where the opponent is. All right, the opponent never arrived, unfortunately. That was a really good one, guys. It was a tough uphill battle. Really, really just brutal stuff from Control. Control's usually brutal, right? And sometimes it's even miserable to go up against, but this wasn't too bad, was it? And we actually put up one heck of a fight, and we really saw a couple limitations here too, where, yeah, when you don't have a lot of creatures and all the opponent has is ways to remove your what few creatures you have, these utility lands, dude, holy cow, absolutely essential. Lindblum, I should have never played tapped. The extra mana came in handy, but it probably would have just been even more handy to play the adventure and still play it as a mana anyways, right? So just take the turn, pay the 3 mana. The worst case scenario is the opponent counters it. Now you don't have the mana side after you cast the adventure, right? They counter it, you cry yourself to sleep. But utility land is just absolutely necessary for a build like this. So guys, did I go over the YouTube nonsense yet? Did I go over that? Well, either way, I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. While I have you here in the middle-ish, end-ish of the video, make sure you check out that description where we do have that Discord link as well as that Patreon link too if you're interested in joining either of those up or supporting the channel that way. Also, guys, for the actual YouTube side of things, if you like the video, make sure you actually drop it a like. And if you enjoyed the channel, then consider subscribing because it really does help out the channel. So thank you guys. All right. Yes, we try it. Another one, another weird one, right? No creatures. very, very weird deck list, isn't it? Yeah, but early removal and everything in hand and ready to go. Ways to not only establish equipment onto the board, but maybe boosting the talent early on here could be really good. It wouldn't be unheard of to drop the mulligan for this hand, though, but you got to be really careful dropping mulligans looking for creatures and stuff. Again, not a lot packed in. Fountainport is something at the very least. Okay. They go down to 18. We find more mana. That's good news. Hopefully that's not a Spell Pierce, because we really should take out the Dark Knight over there. Well, Spell Pierce definitely exists in Dimir Tempo. Give it a shot. Nice. Could be a bounce spell. All right, Chainsaw established. Also, guys, I was thinking about trading out the Sword of Vengeance, but boy, it was really good in that control match, huh? And so as a one-of, maybe we just keep it around. Power up Blacksmith's talent instead of getting countered, but if they don't play a counter spell, they just might play a flash creature instead. I'd rather Sword of Vengeance get countered over Buster Sword, but boy, the haste really came in handy here, didn't it? Alright, we'll try Sword of Vengeance, see what happens. It lands. Alright. Pretty good. Cryptomancer. Gonna be a 1-2 thanks to the backup. There's a card we didn't see enough of, guys. For real. The hexproof on this is actually pretty crazy. Like, we won't be able to steal this when it comes time. They go Kaito for the turn. Yeah. That's a problem. Kaito being a creature on their turns, we can't do anything with our unexpected. Okay, guys. Okay, we can go fishy, but we need to take the turn to establish one of the Blacksmith's talents to level 2. Because that way when we get fishy, we'll be able to equip a free sword. So Kaito powers up as a creature on their turn. And even now, if they keep Cryptomancer open, even if they get a bigger creature, we really just don't want to see one of our unexpected cards against this deck list in particular. We're going to have a really hard time stealing their creatures. Deep Cavern Bat takes the Buster Sword, because what's Self-Destruct do? Nothing. Nothing right now. Deep Cavern Bat's a great one to pick up with the unexpected, but again, they're probably just going to keep the 2 mana open for Cryptomancer and or another counterspell in their hand. They do take one of the Self-Destructs, actually. Nice. Well, that's great news, because we can establish the Buster Sword now. Or try to. Oh, maybe that's what it is, right? They have a, maybe they have a counterspell for the sword in hand. You think that it would have landed on the Sword of Vengeance, though. Raubahn, dude, really good draw. Very nice. We don't have enough mana to establish the Buster Sword too, but we can't complain about this at all. Come on. Come on, land on the board. Come on. Yeah, all right. And I'll keep the 2 open over the regular sword, I guess. Nah. Nah. I'll try to equip the sword and see what happens. Because they could have spot removal here too, I guess. You know what, though? If I would have kept the 2 open, we could have used the Self-Destruct. Yeah, if we would have kept the 2 open to any target too, I don't know if we would have wanted to pop the bat, but on the stack of the cut down, we could have went Self-Destruct. I don't know if that would have really been that terrific. We would have just gotten the other Self-Destruct back from the Deep Cavern Bat, but then the bat would be gone, which would have been decent. And they would have only had 1 mana open. They still could have had a Spell Pierce, right? So, man, there's a lot to consider, I would say. We're in a lot of danger. The Raubahn was definitely one of the best draws we could have had. And it easily just got picked up by a cut down, so I keep bringing it up, man. I can't wait for cut down to be gone, but even if it wasn't a cut down, they still had 2 mana open, so. All right, looks like it's a fishy turn. We're in a lot of danger, man. I mean, 4 mana open for the opponent, too. If we could actually get Buster Sword down, maybe have some free business. Yeah, there's not a lot. Also, if we would have self-destructed onto Kaito, maybe that could have been decent, but we would have actually needed a good boost to the Raubahn first. So, I don't know. See, right here, last turn, right here on the stack is where the Raubahn would have died to the cut down. And then we could have had Self-Destruct open onto the stack too to pop the Deep Cavern Bat, get the other Self-Destruct back. Instead, I went for the sword, which probably wasn't the greatest. Wasn't the worst either, especially if it would have landed. Now we can still swing with the fishy. It has vigilance. We're going to try to swing at Kaito, because we're not close to actually draining the opponent's life total anyways. So the lower we get the Kaito, the more likely we can actually get it off the board when it comes time. All right, nice. That's really good. Enduring Curiosity for the turn. Oh, crap, dude. Oh, crap. Okay, well, that's an unfortunate block. That's going to have to happen because they have lethal on the board. I guess we could trump the Kaito. That's not great. Blocking the Curiosity comes back with the Enduring ability. They get 4 through. We go down to 3. They could drop like a Cryptomancer to boost the Deep Cavern Bat. Back it up, put a counter on it, right? Get us even lower. But they want to just hold out. They want to go nice and slow here. They do drop the Cryptomancer. Oh, they're going to boost the Curiosity. Well, either way, we were forced into a block. And what that could mean, too, is with their last 2 mana, they could still have another Cryptomancer or something. So the opponent really, really doing the tempo thing this game. Raubahn was our best hope. It still could be our best hope, since we have 5 mana. With Raubahn coming... Oh, without a free self-destruct, though. Probably not. I was going to say, with 5 mana, Raubahn off the top. And Buster Sword for the same turn. Free equip Sword of Vengeance, give it haste. Swing with Raubahn, free equip the Buster Sword. It's just a chainsaw. Well, we do have a hasty fishy again. We could maybe chump on the ground with Curiosity if the fishy survives. 2 in the air from Deep Cavern Bat. They're 1 mana short from powering up Sanctuary anyways. They could easily just find an untapped source here too. All right, fishy again. Fountainport being an MVP in these longer matches for real. Actually, never mind. They have a great block here either way, with the Cryptomancer being a 1/2 since it's a ninja. They got the boot instead of being like a 0/1. Oh, yeah. Hey, good game opponent. We're just gonna swing then. Yeah, there's not a lot we can do here. That was pretty good. And it's like I said, Cryptomancer is one that we just didn't see enough of. Chainsaw getting 4 counters on it as the game went on. Which one? Which one do we go for? Let's go for... Are we doomed? Pretty sure we're doomed. That's my favorite so far. And we'll also drop a Kupo. But no, we'll also give them... Hey, they got the Kupo too. Let's go. Hey, GG opponent. GG. It was good. Yeah. Yeah, we're showcasing the deck list. I mean, we're definitely seeing the janky side in these longer matches where we just don't have enough creatures, and all of the creatures are just in so much danger because, you know, we're not removing anything, or the opponents aren't removing anything early on. By the time we're established, they just have so much removal at the ready type of thing, right? So, guys, unfortunately, we're going to call it there. We're about 40 minutes into the video, and I definitely have a thing or two to say. I say unfortunately because it's always nice to end on a high note, but I also feel like we showcased the deck list pretty well overall. I would have liked to see more unexpected requests today, but that's fine. In the match that we played on stream, we stole a Cacophony Scamp with the unexpected request. We popped the Scamp and we proliferated onto Chainsaw, and it was really, really cool. But Cacophony Scamp is rotating here very soon, huh? We're just weeks away, a few weeks away from rotation. This deck list is rotation proof for the upcoming rotation, of course. And you can always check that by going to Alchemy, because Alchemy already rotated, right? So you can see that there's no glowing red cards. They glow like a vibrant red when they're rotating out. But how we've been building rotation-proof deck lists, it's a little bit faster to go to Alchemy, click Format Legal, and then switch back to Standard. It's just a few less buttons than unchecking all of these. So March of the Machine, Aftermath, All Will Be One, Brothers War, Dominaria United, all going bye-bye. So the deck list was built with none of those. So a few things, guys. I could easily see dropping a Sword of Vengeance and going up that other Freya, like I was saying. However, it depends what you're up against, because Sword of Vengeance Haste was really, really good today, wasn't it? That's why I'm not dropping it. I'm keeping it. The deck list is very expensive based on mythics and rares, right? So put it on the do not craft list. It's definitely going to be janky, but if you have these cards, give it a shot. Get back to me. Let me know how it goes. While it should be jank, I think it'll surprise you sometimes. I really do think that. And unexpected request in the right deck list is actually just insane. 23 mana felt about right, even with, like, we're curving out over it. Look at this. 13 3-drops is crazy business, dude. 2.3 average overall. Could also see dropping a Self-Destruct down to 3, but then you're taking away part of the heart of the deck list where we're trying to get a free Self-Destruct on the unexpected request. But even if you're not getting a free Self-Destruct, maybe you equipped Lotus Ring instead, and you sacrifice the opponent's creature that way. That could be really good too. So I really like this, the split of cards here. Some cards that we could consider dropping, maybe Fire Magic, but Fire Magic does work really well with Nemesis at instant speed too. There's also a lot of deck lists going wide right now. I think Fire Magic's going to save your butt, but we could also just try to lean further into the combo. Maybe more equipments, maybe more creatures. I do want the second Freya. I know that much. I'm going to go up the second Freya. Now, what do we drop? We don't want to drop mana. 22 is not enough for that many 3-drops, right? 23 was pretty good. Even then, guys, having to tap all of your mana just for a fishy on Fountainport or something. Also, guys, top ability on Fountainport, pay 2, tap it, sacrifice a token, draw a card. You can totally sacrifice the sword tokens from Blacksmith talent, which is really cool, right? We got a lot of synergies in here. Even though I feel like we showcased a lot of synergies and showcased a lot of the deck list, we really didn't even start to scratch the surface, did we? Like, we didn't actually see Raubahn pop off with the free equipment and whatnot, which, I mean, I really do feel like Raubahn would really pop off if you actually got that swing, especially if you're doing other nonsense on that turn too. When Raubahn doesn't have haste, you have to wait the turn, but when you have to wait the turn, you're untapping your lands. So you get the swing, you get a free equip, but also you could have played an unexpected request before all that nonsense too. So I don't know, man. Yeah, a little bit of setup in this. I really like Boommobile, but I do wonder if we could drop that down to 1 for the second Freya. I don't know how incredibly necessary this is on the top end. Here's the truth, guys. Don't overlook vehicles. The Aether Drift set as a whole, I feel, is being criminally overlooked. I think we want to go back and look at some of these vehicles for specific deck lists, man. I really do. I really do feel that. Let's go down to 1 Boommobile. So we dropped a rare. We went up an uncommon. We made it a little bit more budget friendly, right? And we're not relying too heavily on the 4-drops as being our top end. We're relying on establishing 3-drops. Our top end looks like spending all of our mana to equip things and whatnot, or level up Blacksmith's talent as well. I like that. I like that change a lot, actually. So, okay, what else do I have to say about the deck list? Lindblum's really cool. The 0/1 Black Wizard creature token has, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this token deals 1 damage to each opponent. So non-creature spell, Thank goodness that doesn't say instant and sorceries. They really could have ruined these wizards, right? But saying non-creature actually makes them really cool and a worthwhile utility piece, even though it's on a tapped land. I also feel like that the Final Fantasy utility lands are being a little overlooked because they do come out tapped. Having extra utility, man, it usually comes in handy. And sometimes when you see them, if you see them every game, the utility side of it will come in handy every other game, which is a lot of games. So I don't know. Keep your eye on these for sure. And in the right deck list, like this deck list, for example, do we really mind having turn one tapped land? Not really. Like, we're not doing that super of an aggressive thing in here. So yeah, I like the one Lindblum a lot. Unfortunately, the 0-1 wizard can't do something like crew the Boommobile, but neither can the Freya, so. But once you get some equipment on these, then I guess, right? Freya, for example, just needs a sword, and that can power up the Boommobile. Double Nemesis made a lot of sense. I like the chainsaws in here too. I like that Nemesis can get boosted above the chainsaw, so that way you can chainsaw the Nemesis and not have it die, and then still hit the opponent's face with the chainsaw, right? So since this only hits creatures, having a way to convert the chainsaw into like a lightning strike where we can just hit the opponent's face instead, it's really neat, right? Actually, I would consider more Nemesis if you're looking for some good trade outs. Maybe you don't have all the Lotus Rings. Maybe you only have one Lotus Ring, but you have all the Screaming Nemesis because you're a red player like me. There you go. That's a perfect trade out. Go for it. Drop a couple Lotus Rings, go up a couple Nemesis. Always look at your collection, guys. You don't always have to like make the deck list exactly the same. When I say put it on the do not craft list unless you have all the cards, that could also mean maybe you have some good trade outs too for the cards that you don't have. It just means don't waste wild cards to put it together, right? So look at your collection, see what you got, see what you can trade in or trade out. This is a really fun version of equipment. It's really cool, and it's, like I said, probably janky, but just like the right kind of jank, right? It's cool. I like this a lot. And remember, guys, it was a suggestion in the Discord, then we built it together on the Twitch channel as well. If you're interested in seeing a live stream over on Twitch, down in the description, there's a little button, a little Twitch button somewhere down there in the description. You can click on that. We're not Red Cat MTG over on Twitch. We're actually Red Cat Tavern. I wanted to make sure I mean, I didn't have to name it differently, but I wanted to make sure if I wanted to stream other games, then if I'm playing like actual Final Fantasy, it's not Red Cat MTG. I know, I didn't have to do that, but still. All right, guys, enough rambling. If you made it this far into the video for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.